Welcome back to another beautiful YouTube video, but today it's a talking head video. Just want to get some stuff off my chest. So today I want to talk about like the pitfalls and the decision makings of becoming a photographer that I think will resonate with a few. I'm gonna be honest. I would say in the last couple of years after the pandemic, it's been very hard being a full-time photographer, especially in the city that I'm at in Toronto, Canada. Like there's, you get bookings here and there, but it's been a bit, hit or miss. And I think that is because before the pandemic, there was a big surge in being an influencer online, and a lot of creators, influencers were looking to get a lot of professional work done. So that kind of culminated into like wanting to have professional images by photographers. So there's a big boom in Instagram. So it became that kind of field of like what people were looking for around that time. But as Instagram's like algorithm kind of like focused more on video and pushing the narrative of like, if you have to pay to play. Basically, you have to pay to play. And a lot of creators went over to a more profitable side of social media, which was like TikTok. So unless you were a photographer who also dabbled in video or videographer, it was the business has switched. The situation has switched, and a lot more people are more interested in video work, which is okay. I do a bit of video work. I'm not bad behind the computer doing some of my edits and whatnot. And my camera's like, A1 for it, right? So that's not a problem. I just think that there has been a dip in the photo part of everything. And I also think that has something to do with me personally. I've always made it very clear to myself to uplift marginalized or women to be basically part of my portfolio. And I think that kind of almost a bit worked against me. Not saying it is a bad thing, but like I think focusing so much on helping people build their personal brand and not their like business brand was a bit of a pitfall. I should have been focused more on the small businesses and brands that were looking to get images. I'm not saying I didn't focus on that. Like I did shoot with a lot of brands as I grew as a photographer. But I think it's also been, I also think that a lot of brands are having a hard time getting themselves out there, and also financially. The pandemic really messed with a lot of people's businesses. So they're also kind of trying to recoup what they lost. A lot of companies trying to recoup what they lost. So it's not just photographers, but like when everybody's feeling the burn, you're also going to feel the burn, right? So that's kind of like the main thing that's happening a lot with businesses and all that kind of junk, especially in Toronto. I don't know how it is across the world, but in Toronto, it seems like that's kind of like, at least from the creators that I've also talked to, the creators that I've talked to also have said the kind of very similar things. That it's a bit dry out there right now, to be honest. But I think that kind of help. That kind of it's. I'm not gonna see it as a negative. I think this is just a time to reflect and kind of focus on where you want to be. Kind of pivot, recreate yourself as an artist. And I've always been very much interested in product photography and shooting products. And also beauty photography. So I've been kind of trying to pivot and working more towards that than I ever been before. Before, I was very much into the influencer world as a photographer, but now I want to pivot and trying to go towards the working with like small brands, corporate brands, and just people in general who have businesses that need like luxury service, basically. Because let's be real, photography is a luxury service, right? Reason being it's a luxury service is because it's not a necessity, right? And it costs a lot of money, right? Especially to upkeep, right? If you're going to do a photo shoot for your brand, you want to make sure that the images are consistent, right? You don't want to be having different types of consistency in your photos and stuff, unless you're going for rebranding, and then that's a whole different kind of conversation. But I think that this is a time for me to pivot, move on to a different side of the industry. Not say I'm never going to work with influencers again, or, I'm just trying to kind of like go a different direction and make that more my core than the influencer. Because let's think about it like this, right? If you're working with influencers, right, it's good money, right? It could be good money especially if you're doing like so many people on one day. You're charging maybe $100. So if you do it like 5 people, that's $500. You know what I mean? But there's a lot more work, I feel, within that compared to like you having a retainer with a small business or corporate client, where if you set up in a certain way, they're paying you monthly to shoot their stuff. Compared to influencers, sometimes they have downtimes and they won't even need your services, right? And at some point, it becomes finite. I feel like the ceiling for brands is a little bit more higher, and also the spending is a little bit more higher. You could charge a premium compared to like with influencers, right? I've always heard the term, work smarter, not harder. So you can shoot maybe 5 brands the entire month that will pay for everything for you, your living expenses, everything, or shoot 5 influencers every day for the entire month. You get what I'm saying? Like, I find that I rather myself just work a little bit differently, and I've been in this business for 17 years. So I've worked with a lot of small businesses, a lot of big corporate brands, but it's never been my absolute focus. Because I'll be honest with you, the money was good working with the influencer girls, but times have changed. So I'm getting also older in my age, not in just my photography experience. And I want to kind of change up a little bit of things. Like I said, I'm not going to stop working with influencers, but I'm just going to put my focus elsewhere, Yeah. And I've always personally loved product photography. Like, I loved beauty shots, beauty pictures, like, the shots of like campaigns for jewelry brands or makeup brands. I just loved it. I was a retoucher before I was a photographer, and I say that so much over the course of my years. I've always made sure people remember that, and I just feel like that's my thing. That was always my thing. I loved portraiture. I still love portraiture even till today. Even down to like street photography portraiture, like not even street photography, it's just portraiture outside, but it's capturing people outside who you didn't necessarily book. I've always liked that. I've always liked more close-up, couture, editorial, commercial shots. That's always been kind of my essence. And then granted, I loved working with the influencers. I still do. I'll still work with a couple of them that I really am close with, even after all these years. But I think I wanna move over a little bit. I've been using ChatGPT a lot to kind of like send out proposals to companies and all this kind of stuff, just to kind of get like with companies, with small businesses that I haven't worked with before, and other companies as well. But yeah, I mean, when you're dabbling in something new, like I've never personally sent out proposals to work with people. Well, companies, I've always kind of sent them out to individuals who are influencers, aspiring models. But now I'm doing the same groundwork that I did before, but now for corporations and stuff like that. Like, I've built up the name in my city, and my work kind of speaks for itself. So I don't need to like build a portfolio for that. They see my stuff. I have a lot of product stuff I've done in the past, a lot of companies that I have worked with in the past. So I'm just, like I said, just trying to work with different people now. Yeah, different goals, different mindset. 2024, I would say from 2020 to 2024, it has been rough, but it's not the end of the story. So you gotta keep pushing, gotta keep moving. Yeah, just thought I just spit on a couple of stuff. I'm gonna do more talking head videos. I haven't done these in a while. It doesn't have to always be a behind the scenes of photo shoots. I know if you love that stuff, I'm gonna keep doing it too, obviously. But I wanna also do other things like talk head videos, also maybe a couple of videos of me doing some editing. Yeah, I definitely need to release a new retouching tutorial pack. That's coming soon. I just haven't gotten there yet. And also, I'm kind of a bit discouraged. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's so much AI editing software out there now. I just feel so discouraged to even release a retouching tutorial pack. I don't know how it's going to, if it's even going to be selling anymore, if people are even into that anymore. But today I was on Threads, and there's photographers who are still not very aware of a lot of these AI programs, AI apps like Evoto or Aperty or all the other stuff out there, So I don't know. If you guys want a retouching pack, comment below and I'll consider it. Yeah, if there's enough people that say yeah, release that, I maybe I might. I don't know. If the demand's there. Anyways, I'm really trying to do more of these YouTube videos. I'm really trying to be more consistent. Shout out to Photo Mike. That's the homie right there. And I'm going to try to do more of this stuff. I just listen, when you live in Toronto and winter comes, that seasonal depression is crazy. That seasonal depression will have you in bed doing this all for like a whole day, okay? For the whole day. So I'm just trying to change that formula. And what would help with that is if you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already, and help a brother out. It's so free to do this stuff. Let's have a community talk more. Yeah, help me out. Anyways, see you guys in the next video. Thanks again for watching. Peace.